We're asking, what place has knowledge in human relationship? Knowledge is always in the past. There is no future knowledge. Knowledge implies the process of time as the past. Right? That's clear. And this knowledge, both in the scientific world and in human existence, is based on experience. And this experience is gathered for millions of years, or for the last 300 years with the scientists. And that knowledge is used to accumulate further knowledge, further exploration, but always knowledge is in the past. There is no question about that. And knowledge is never complete about anything. Right? Are we going together in this? Please, we are not agreeing. You are not just listening. You are thinking together. We are saying that knowledge is incomplete always. There is no complete knowledge about anything. That's a fact. So, our knowledge is stored in the brain as memory, and the response of that memory is thought. That is, experience, either inherited or accumulated in the present, that becomes knowledge. Then that knowledge is memory, which is the past, and from that memory the reaction is thought. Right? Is this clear? Can we go on from that? So, thought is always limited. Right? One has accumulated, say for example, scientific knowledge. That knowledge is being added all the time too. More and more and more they're discovering. And so scientific knowledge is never complete. Right? So thought, whatever it does, is limited. This is very, perhaps some of you will reject this. But if you would kindly investigate it, go together to look at it, not take a definite stand about it, but let us think over it together. We are saying categorically and definitely that knowledge being limited, because there is no knowledge, complete knowledge about anything, knowledge always goes in with the shadow of ignorance. And any thought born of knowledge must inevitably fragmentary, limited, finite. But thought can invent something immeasurable, something beyond our infinite, but it is still the movement of thought. Right? a person can invent God because he feels God is necessary for his comfort, for his security. But that God is the product of thought which is limited. Please, we must be very clear on this point. Not that you agree with the speaker, which would be useless, but if you for yourself see the fact, the truth, that thought under all circumstances, whatever the thought of the scientist is or the great philosophers, is always bound, narrow, limited. Thought has invented nationalities. And thought, having created it, brings about division between people. The Muslim and the Hindu, the Jew, the Arab, the communist, the socialist, the capitalist, and so on. Thought has invented all this. Our society, however corrupt it is, as it is in this country, not that corruption doesn't exist in other countries, but in this country one can see so blatantly. And this corruption is invented by thought. All the rituals is the product of thought, whether the military rituals or the religious rituals. They're all forms of entertainment invented by thought. And thought has created problems like war, like conflict, and so on. Then thought tries to solve these problems. Right? Are you following all this? Does it interest you, all this? Could you tell me? Perhaps a little. God, probably you have not thought about all this at all. You haven't gone into all this. You've just accepted thought as the only instrument man has. And that instrument has created havoc in the world. A good carpenter, when he finds his instrument is useless, he throws them away and tries to find new instruments. But we don't. We see that thought, politically, religiously, as human beings between each other, thought has created innumerable problems. And thought, politically, religiously, says, I will solve them. And in their solution, you are producing more problems. So life is becoming more and more complex, more and more full of problems. Because we think that thought is the only instrument. And that thought is limited. Right? Is this clear? Not verbally clear, but clear for yourself. So that we can then ask, is there a new instrument? You follow? We find all over the world, even the greatest scientists, greatest whatever they are beginning to question because the speaker has talked with many of them, are beginning to question the nature of thought. Thought is a material process, because thought is held in the brain, in the very brain cells themselves. So thought is a material process. So whatever thought thinks about or invents is the result of a material process. So when thought creates God, it's still a material process. Thought is not sacred. See, this is very clear, not verbally, but deeply, profoundly. Then we can ask, is there a new instrument? Not higher consciousness and lower consciousness. I don't mean that at all. That's another invention of thought. The higher consciousness and bring it down to the lower consciousness. In all that game one plays. It is still the product and the process of thought.